Minister, ladies and gentlemen, like I started earlier, saying we know why we are here. This country is boiling. We are facing one of the most unprecedented economic crises of our times. I'm 74 years old. I have never seen something like this. It is our responsibility as leaders and statesmen to work out solutions and for people to see that those solutions we are trying to work out will work. There is no grandstanding. There is no space for argumentation or exchanging brickbats. We have a joint responsibility to Nigerian people to deliver on the most important challenges of our time. The Chinese have two characters for crisis. One is danger. The other represents opportunity. We have to sit down and seize all opportunities that are available for us to turn around the economy of our nation. We need to not just think out of the box. What we need is innovative and creative thinking and coordinated action. There is no time for us to waste. We should not think about going back on the same old paradigm. This economy, from my own understanding, requires a fundamental paradigm shift away from our usual habits of selling oil and buying everything under the sun. That kind of paradigm, to me, is gone. That's why creative thinking, creative action, and coordinated efforts are required. We in the National Assembly are united, and we are with the executive arm of government in every kind of effort that will be required to resolve this problem and advance the fortunes of this nation forward. Mr. President has given the nation a marching order, a responsibility, as he called it, fetching water from a dry well, which is a subtitle of his book, Financialism, which I think most of us, or many of us, have read. Let's go back and read that book again. There are so many insights about what caused the crisis, the financial crisis of 2008, 2009 in the United States, and it is a representation on the economic realities of this country. Now, if you are to fetch water from an empty well, you either get some water somewhere to fill it, but that's temporary, because after you take the water that you have put, you get back to where you are. Or you dig deeper. Deeper, how deep? If you meet rocks that are not pervious, you have a problem. Then you have to think about reciting the well where you have a better aquifer. These are all our joint responsibilities. We have to sit down to put our thinking caps and to work together so that the issues that bedevil this nation can be arrested and people can see light at the end of the tunnel. We have to think in a very creative way. We are not the only thinkers. Nobody can arrogate himself any form of absolute wisdom. That one belongs only to God. But if we are humble enough to think and cooperate with one another, not to denigrate any kind of idea. Look at an idea, look at its value, ingest it, take what is good there, put your heads together, and let's sit down and bring this issue and focus on getting our nation, out of this crisis. For me, I don't think the issue is one of trading blames. What had happened had happened. We had been we went through 8 years of scondomania, where we just sought money to address problems without thinking about the structure and the strength of the economy. There's a lot of differences between, for me, it's quite different. Taxes do not develop an economy. What develops an economy is investment in the productive capacities, of Nigerians and in our resources. Creating wealth and growth is what develops an economy. Taxes are just redistributive. You collect from Peter to pay Paul, and also find revenue for the government. The challenge here is what are the kind of productive investments and how do we realign the productive sectors of our economy? Right now, to me, we are operating in an environment where a producer does not know even his off-taker. The processes are going down. There is no connection between the different productive sectors of the economy. You can go and have a herd of cattle making milk. If you produce the milk, where do you take it to? The coordination within the economy is not even there. Various value chains are just open. And that's why we thought the Minister of Agriculture here, is very, very important. We have to really sit down and rebuild agricultural value chains and mining value chains. Look at all the value chains. I knew in the Nigerian Senate, we identified about 8 or 9 of these value chains, which we said, the government should appropriate at least 10% of the gross domestic product of this country and invest in highlighting and developing these value chains. We have to go back to grow the economy. We can do for whatever, those who made mistakes or they committed crimes in the course of what had happened, they should answer for their crimes. But I think that's not where we should play our cards. Where we should play our cards is, to really concentrate on growing the economy. I don't want to talk too much. Maybe in the course of our discussions, some issues will come up. I will pass over to my co-chairmen to also make their own remarks before we get our colleagues also to make an input. But at the end of the day, what we want is that this is just the beginning, this meeting. We will have to sit down with you so that we can know the regularity of subsequent interactions, so that we can be able to advise and get each other, to take stock of where we are and where we need to be. Senator Abiru.